Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton says the records he's received so far directly contradict Dr. Anthony Fauci's testimony before Congress that his agency has not supported gain-of-function research in China. One America's John Hines has more from Washington.
Regarding the Health and Human Services and records of emails of the so-called gain-of-function research, I believe Senator Rand Paul has recently tweeted that Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the Center for Allergies and Infectious Diseases, has lied again. This based on new information in a publication called The Intercept, which indicates that it appears there was funding of gain-of-function research in China. What do you make of this statement from Dr. Rand Paul that Dr. Fauci lied in light of your own lawsuit against the NIH's director, Francis Collins, essentially Dr. Fauci's boss?
Well, let's take a step back. Judicial Watch has several Freedom of Information Act lawsuits against HHS, NIH, and the sub-agency of NIH, of course, is Fauci's agency, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. So we've been battling them for well over a year. We asked for the records back in March of last year and other records since then, and they've been stonewalling. But we were able to get new information that they were giving more money to the Wuhan Institute through this EcoHealth Alliance than is previously known. We've uncovered the records showing they were doing back coronavirus research, and this new batch of records uncovered by The Intercept, which has a separate FOIA lawsuit. And it shows you why you need multiple people asking the same questions of the same agency, because they get records that we don't get, we get records they don't get, and only until you have the agency thoroughly examined do you get the fuller truth. So these records are further confirmation that Fauci's agency was funding gain-of-function research, which seems to contradict his sworn testimony. And the records show that they were funding, again, this bat coronavirus research that involved mutating viruses, which is exactly what gain-of-function is, which is messing with viruses to make them more communicable. And the theory is that they were trying to basically get ahead of a virus mutation so they knew what to do if it happened. Well, the danger is mutating viruses can potentially lead to the viruses getting out, and everyone's just out of luck in terms of being able to combat them. Now, did it happen in the COVID case? Well, we don't know yet, but we do know we were funding the type of virus research that was dangerous, and Lord knows if it was applied to COVID, there ought to be hell to pay.
Does NIH, the agency, and I guess the Health and Human Services agency, does it have a credibility problem in your estimation?
Well, they've been slow rolling the release of information. They've been misleading the American people about their concerns about the Wuhan Institute. They suggested there were no legitimate concerns when in fact there were, and they had them. And they're withholding information right now. We just had to sue, as you highlighted last week, for basic emails about the Wuhan Institute, gain-of-function research, and dare I say, hydroxychloroquine. You know, Dr. Francis Collins, who is Fauci's boss, we want his emails about this. And the Washington Post even pointed out a few weeks ago that Fauci and Collins, who run NIH and NIAID, were pushing gain-of-function research and trying to work around internal regulations that restricted it. We have the documents, and the documents, this is why the government hides them from us, because the documents tell a story, but they often don't want told. And the story about the Wuhan Institute and Fauci's agency's funding of it is something that deserves a lot more investigation. And as I said, we have several lawsuits underway.
Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch, thank you for talking to us on One American News, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.